welcome to Munchin' Movies. I'm Scott.
I'm Sam.
And today we're munching up some Dunkirk.
So, let's start right into it.
Okay.
So, what'd you think?
I thought it was, well, looking from the trailer, my first opinion of the movie was, wow, this is going to be a serious movie. You know, Christopher Nolan's really going the serious vibe. Like, it did feel like more of his theatrical stuff from the trailer, so like sort of Dark Knight Rises, Dark Knight had that big booming sound effects, but you could tell that they weren't going action oriented and necessarily even very entertainment oriented. It was really supposed to be serious of the time period. So I was excited to learn more about the battle from this movie's interpretation of it, and I wanted to see how he would do it. I have to say, he did a brilliant job. It did not let me down at all. I thought that the movie was fantastic, and that the filmmaking was wonderful. I mean, what were your thoughts?
It was really fantastic. Like, Christopher Nolan really pulled out all the stops on this one in the fact that he's showing his directorial prowess, yes. Like,
yeah.
that he can go from Inception to this. It's definitely two extremes, and he did it very well.
Well, and the thing that I liked about it, because I mean, like, Christopher Nolan has his like movie tropes, like, if you look at like Dark Knight or Man of Steel, because he helped out with Zack Snyder in that. He always has these like makes characters into Jesus-y type of characters, and there was nothing of that case in this. It was all very much like the thing that I was actually most impressed with his filmmaking was that most of the characters didn't talk that much.
I know, it was so cool that he could tell. To me, that also shows how awesome of a director he is, that he can direct a movie that has hardly any dialogue, and it still portrays such emotion, such just a driven story.
I think in the shortened version, he told the story not by telling you the story, but by showing you the story.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
visually.
Like, he didn't have to have a bunch of exposition. I mean, yes, there is some moments where characters have to say, this happened, or, oh yeah, we can't move our boats off of here because we're going to need to go for our next battle. And yes, that's true. You need that exposition for that story to make sense. But when there was large moments of time where no one talked, where action just happened.
It was more meaningful.
The whole beginning, first 45 minutes was him trying to get on, or I guess first half hour was him trying to get onto the boat and sneak onto the boats, and all of that happening. And then along with the visual storytelling aspect, he also told a dynamic story where it played, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie,
spoiler alert.
but he tells stories from different viewpoints all at the same time, similar to like Pulp Fiction, where it's like the story's being told out of order, except for it's told out of order, but it's also told at the same time.
Like, it works beautifully together. Like, once you realize that it's the same timeline, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, okay, like things are connecting, and again, that shows how awesome of a storyteller he is.
And the funny thing is, he does tell you from the beginning that, like, it is out of order. It just doesn't tell you exactly what it means. It says, land, here, and it says on the air a day later. You know what I mean? So it's able to tell you what those are, but you don't understand until later.
So as far as the story, awesome, very, very cool, very sombering. It shows war in a different light for me. So let's talk about the acting. So a lot of big characters in this. We had Kenneth Branagh, who is an awesome British actor, and who's the new Hercule Poirot. And
what's the name of the movie that the Murder on the Train, right?
Murder on the Train.
Murder on the Train? Murder on, what is it?
The Orient Express.
The Orient Express.
Yes. And weirdly enough, Harry Styles from One Direction was in it. And he okay.
You liked it?
Ignore that. I thought he did a really good job. I was really surprised by how well he did, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't say any actor in this movie didn't give their A game. It was every actor did a great job.
And Tom Hardy as kind of the flying ace that was in there, he was awesome, and the fact that he gets captured by the Germans at the end. okay. I promise. I'm good. But they did, honestly, Christopher Nolan brought this up a couple notches as far as who to pick and how to tell the story, and it was just epic. You really should go see it in theaters.
Last thing is sound, and I don't want to forget to say sound.
And the
sound
music
is amazing. It's not just the music. The music is really brilliant, but it's the sound design behind it. You know, the sense of tension. It's a lot like Christopher Nolan's other movies, you know, where like Batman, they did the whole like I think it was The Dark Knight. They did like the piano strings where it's like ripping piano strings or something. So it's like, and it gives this tension. This has that same sort of like. There are parts where it's just sound effects, and it's like,
but the sound effects,
gosh, like,
but the sound effects, they remind me of like a heartbeat, and it would get faster and faster and faster, and it's like, and so it would make my heartbeat speed up, and
the ticking watch too, like the
yes,
and they do that in the trailer, so you understand the is just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
That's a great way to build it up, and they did it spot on, and I know Hans Zimmer did the music too, so the music, sound, the whole gambit.
What would we give it a rating?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'd give it an 8.
An 8?
An 8.
Like,
it's really good, but I don't think it's more than an 8.
And is it rewatchable over and over? Is something? I think it is rewatchable, but probably not like every year or something, or every couple of years. I think it's something you watch maybe like every once a decade. So I think it's like
once in blue moon.
I think maybe an 8.3. I would give it a little higher than that.
All right.
Because I just really do appreciate the filmmaking aspect to it, the storytelling aspect to it. He did a great job. I'm talking like I want to talk to, you know, Christopher Nolan. You did a great job, Christopher Nolan.
Good job, Chris.
Keep making movies, boss. But no, I really thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, go watch it. Definitely see it in theaters, because big screen. Since it is a war movie, definitely see it in theaters.
Thanks.